Plyometrics or jump training are some of the most effective forms of training for developing your explosive power or your reactivity, which is sometimes described as elastic strength, which is your ability to use the non-contractile components of connective tissue and muscle tissue to build up potential energy and then release it in the form of power. Now these are the non-contractile parts, meaning that they don't contract like a muscle does, but instead they act like that rubber band, whereas if you stretch it, they store that energy and then you release it and ping, away it goes. And in your case, that's sailing through the air and expressing power in some form. It's beneficial to almost any sport that you can think of, whether it be track and field, basketball, cycling, judo, wrestling. Almost every sport has a power component to it. It's also some of the most accessible training that you can possibly do. But in recent years in particular, equipment manufacturers have gone really out of their way to convince people that the only way to do effective plyometric work is to jump on top of something like a box, over something like hurdles, around things or through things, as if you can't develop power unless you're a border collie doing an agility course. But the reality is you only need two things to be able to do effective training to really increase your power. And one is yourself, your body, that's it. And the other is an appropriate space for jumping. So ideally ceilings that aren't so high that you're going to hit your forehead, and a space long enough that if you jump forwards or sideways, you're not going to slip over or hit into something that might break you. That's it. Almost anyone at any level can do plyometrics and jump training, and they don't need to be complex. To progress jumps, you just jump further, jump higher, jump with a bit more effort. That's progress. You don't need to change the exercises to be much more complicated, and you don't need to do anything particularly fancy. For some sports, you might decide that you're going to do something that's a bit more complex because it might mimic or better address a need that the sport has. But in reality, for most people, that's a nice added extra. If you have a space and you jump, that's it. To illustrate this point today, I'm going to go through a really straightforward jump training session that I do that involves 3 whopping exercises. That's it. We're going to be doing jumps, which is jumping up and down in a cyclical way, so over and over and over again for a certain number of reps. We're going to do jops, which are a hybrid jump hop, and in this case we're just going to be doing 1 foot takeoff, 2 foot landing. It's a bit safer if you're not used to landing on one leg, and you can express that power more effectively, and if fatigue hits, you're less likely to wobble and fall over. But if you want to do hops instead and you're safe at doing so, or if you want to do leaps and bounds where you go forward and land on one leg, absolutely fine. And we're doing 2 variations of those, so 1 set of drops will be straight up and 1 will be forward for distance. This entire session, minus the warm-up, should not take very long at all. We're going to be doing 3 sets total. We're doing them as a circuit, so it's just one after the other with a little bit of rest in between, and then probably about 3 minutes rest in between circuits. The rules are simple. We're going to be doing this for 20 rep sets, or 10 per side for the drops. And if we are unable to sustain the same level of power output throughout, that's it for the set. There's no point in us driving into fatigue and getting to the point where we're no longer able to adequately express that power output. We have to still be able to express power if we want to stimulate that power adaptation to be able to develop. The main rule with that is if we get tired once, we rest, we go back to it. If we get tired and we cannot get back the same expression of power, the same height, the same distance, no matter what we do, that's it. The session is over, we go home, we have a cup of tea, we read a book. That's it. My warm-up's a bit more complicated than it really needs to be, just because there are some things that I personally want to work on, but you can do almost anything you want for a warm-up, and your warm-up should be an adequate precursor to decent explosive plyometric work. So if you're doing something aerobic, it needs to be pretty fast-paced, it needs to get everything primed and ready to move. But if you're like me and you want to address some other things with the warm-up, go ahead and do so. A couple of rules for safety are that you should always be aiming to land quietly. You want to make it so that you can barely hear it when your feet hit the ground. If your landing is loud, you're going to be landing hard and you're more likely to get hurt. If your landing is soft and quiet, you're landing pretty well. You're also landing towards your forefoot. The more you land on your heel, again, the harder it's going to be. You also want to make sure that your space is adequately clear. You want to make sure you're in appropriate footwear, but that's all there really is to it. The other thing to consider is progression. How do you measure that you're actually improving things over time? Manufacturers of equipment often act like boxes are the only way to show this. You're jumping onto a higher box, therefore you're improving. That proves it. But again, it's much simpler than that. You just need to be able to measure that you're jumping higher. So you may have a target or a measure outdoors somewhere that you are jumping higher and touching on, or you may be able to set up a camera in the same space every time and measure your jump height or jump distance. That's all you need to do to prove that you're progressing. You prove that you're progressing. You don't need fancy equipment. You just need to have measurable improvement. I only do this once a week. You don't need to do a huge amount of it, but if you're doing it on a regular basis, you'll see power improvements. So without further ado, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to do the session, and here it is in its entirety.
In my soul, have it. That's all there is to it. You may have noticed that I had to take a slightly longer break after the final set of JOPS for height before I went into JOPS for distance to get adequate power recovery. But that's it, that's the only hiccup. That's how simple it can be. Do this once a week. After 6 months, if you measure your jump height or jump length distance, I can guarantee you, if you are at a level that's not beyond this already, you will see substantial improvements. And even then, if you're increasing the distance, if you're increasing the height every week, and you're keeping up that intensity, you'll see power improvements. It's that simple. So jump and drop away, develop that power, do your plyos, do your jump training, have fun.